King Charles' relationship with Prince Harry deteriorated following the self-exiled royal's bombshell memoir, it's been reported. Omid Scobie's damning new book Endgame, Inside the Royal Family and the Monarchy's Fight for Survival reveals how the king reacted to last year's explosive scare and the claims it made. It left relations between Harry and Meghan and the rest of the royal family at an all-time low after the book came out in January of this year, and was at a time when Charles had been monarch for less than a year. Alongside that, it leveled damning criticism at some of Charles' nearest and dearest, including calling his wife, Queen Camilla, a villain and accusing her of leaking stories about him to the press. In it, Harry also described Prince William as his nemesis despite being his once trusted ally. Despite all of this, the father-son duo are still in contact and spoke on the phone for Charles' 75th birthday earlier this month. But in the new royal book by Mr. Scobie, he gives further details on how their relationship has fared over the past year. In Endgame, Mr. Scobie writes that before Spare, the infamous memoirs, was due to be published, Harry reached out to his father. But once he had found out about the book's release, Charles reportedly hadn't been keen to chat. The Mirror previously revealed that the now king had been given the chance to talk through any grievances with Harry whilst he was writing it, but he refused to make contact. Eventually, Harry did make the call, but it didn't lead to any positive change. A friend of the Duke told the author, it was an awkward conversation, but he knew if he didn't make those first steps, there would never be any progress. There was no raised voices, no arguments, but the king was cold and brief rather than open to any proper dialogue. But another source told Mr. Scobie, it's complex, but Harry's increasing frustration from some of the wider circle of family members that Charles won't fix things for the sake of everyone. Shortly after Spare hit bookshelves and caused chaos amidst the firm with its allegations, King Charles evicted the Sussexes from Frogmore Cottage, the property the late Queen had given to them after their wedding. Even though they now lived in Montecito, California, the couple used the cottage when they were back in the UK. They did this during the Platinum Jubilee and Queen Elizabeth's funeral last year. But, Mr. Scobie wrote that the final blow was when the cottage was promptly offered to disgraced Prince Andrew after they had moved out. The author wrote this was undoubtedly a slight against the Sussexes. Despite not being working royals, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are often invited to the larger royal events. But when the king turned 75 earlier this month, there was no contact between them and Buckingham Palace regarding any invitations. Harry and Charles did share a phone call, and Meghan was said to have sent an adorable video of Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet singing happy birthday to their granddad. However, the birthday and all was thought to be a more relaxed affair than recent ones though.